you feeling? How you doing, Craig?
I'm good. How are you, Gina?
I'm doing good as well. Oh. Morning, Kathy. How you feeling?
I'm not grumpy this morning. For some reason, I was grumpy yesterday. I could tell
Well,
after the procedure.
yeah, I don't blame you, and we did not notice. Let's hear some good news. Who's got what?
I have put a potential prospect from yesterday's event.
Nice.
So as I left the doctor's office and got registered and got my little armband, I left the lady my card and said, in case you know anybody. And she picked it up and looked, and she went and didn't say anything for a second. And I said, you know somebody? And she said, yeah, me. So I'm going to hook her up with a lender and we'll talk some more.
Love it. Very nice. Very nice. Who else has some good news? Come on, smiley people. Yes, bring it on, Craig.
Yeah, so I got a new build townhouse under contract. Yeah, so we'll be closing December 27th, I believe.
Oh, that house is
Yay.
almost done.
Yeah, so it's actually done. They had a contingency contract on it. They're waiting for the other buyers to sell their home. They haven't sold yet, and they told them if someone else comes along that was willing and able to buy, then they would knock them out of the contract basically. And also, I got a call yesterday from a guy that I had been talking to, and he says because he wanted to buy another house, and he called yesterday and said that they want to sell their current house and buy a new house. Before they were just gonna buy another one.
Right.
Yeah, so now he wants to sell and buy. So we got a meeting next Monday.
Nice. You're gonna get paid right after Christmas. Congratulations.
Yes, and before. Oh yeah, you're right. I'm thinking about the new year.
Very, very cool. All right, who else has got good news this morning? PF, you're smiling like crazy. There you go.
I don't. I'm just smiling because I'm here with you guys. And I received your latest text from your automatic system. It says, have you always wanted to work with real estate investors? Then work with real estate investors. The Global Investor Agent team is a real estate team built by real investors. They did it.
Why are you getting that text? That's a marketing text. And I told Ava that
we've probably all been getting them.
Oh my gosh, I knew something was going on. I think what happened was my system automatically assigned, but keep on going. I'll tell you a funny story about this though too. Keep on going.
Yeah. Life is a hell of a lot more fun if you say yes rather than no. Quote by Richard Branson.
I have so I have different quotes in there. I have a year of text bill, and one of them, the one that gets the most responses, good and bad, is also a Richard Branson quote, and it says, "Screw it, let's do it." I can't.
I love it.
You're getting it too. All right, I'm gonna have Ava get that taken care of. I think what happened.
No, because we asked you. You forgot that we asked you for samples of what they look like, and you told us if we reply or do any reaction to it, it will stop.
Yes.
Yeah. So I have it because I want to see where they are.
All right. We'll leave them
Sorry,
alone.
Catherine.
No, I just agree.
Okay. So Gary asked for that a long time ago because Gary's got his thing that he's got going out, and I have mine that I have going out. And so Gary's like, can you put me on yours. I want to see what's going out. And I'm like, sure thing, Garrett, no problem. Like, I don't know, 6 weeks later, whatever, he's talking to me and he goes, there is somebody that is texting me every single week and it's EXP. And he goes, I don't know who they are. It's amazing. I want to go steal everything. And I'm like, whoa, that's cool. Gary, like, send it to me. And I'm like, Gary, that's me. Come on, dude. I was like, this says GIA in there, Gary. Come on. He goes, oh, I didn't see that. He goes, they're really good text. I'm like, thank you, Gary. I appreciate that. I really do. So
I can't find it right this minute. That one came through our messages, our phone, so a text.
Yes.
That one did. Mm-hmm.
The messages are really amazing, Gina, and that's how you got me, without a doubt.
Thank you. It's how I got Craig too, actually.
Oh, that's so cool.
So
yeah,
you're using your version of KV Core for sending this, guys, right?
Yeah.
We could do this with KV Core.
You can. The only reason I used a different platform is because KV Core did a year or so ago, maybe 2 years ago, I'm not really sure what, but a while ago, there were so many people spamming so many people with so much join EXP, join EXP, join EXP. The EXP came down and said, you will not do that anymore. You will not just spam EXP. And so they put up these guidelines of how you had to interact, which is cool. And I appreciate that. So, and they shut KV Core down and they wouldn't let you use the being able to text a lot of people because that's what people were doing. And they said, if we find out you're doing it, you're out of EXP. So when I came in, which it must have been over 2 years ago, because I came in 2.5 years ago, and they had come out with the guidelines, and I read through everything plus the FCC guidelines. Like I read through everything because I'm like, I do not want to get in trouble. I don't ever want to get popped for spam, nor do I want to be spam. So the way that the loophole that they let me use was going after it with the coaching side, the coaching, the training, the teaching, and all that stuff, and the investor side, because so that's why they're not like join EXP, right? Because that's the thing they were like, you will not do that. And so I read through everything to make sure I don't. And I usually, when I'm talking to people, like Craig was already EXP, and we were at least a conversation in, or quite a ways into a conversation before it was even mentioned. And that's when he told me, well, I already am EXP. And I'm like, all right, so let's talk, because I think you're going to be a good fit. And I was right.
Thank you. I'm so glad you called me that day.
Yeah, me too. Anna too. Although Anna wasn't, but Anna, I think you were at one point, weren't you? Or were you?
I had allergies from any EXP agent interaction
because of course, why?
Because of that exact thing. Like it just constant hounding, and every transaction I closed with an EXP agent literally ended with them trying to recruit me. And I was, with anyone else doing it, it was okay. But for some reason, I was like really allergic to an EXP agent doing it because it was just so relentless.
Yep.
So had your text mentioned EXP, I don't think I would have ever even initiated the conversation or even continued on. I loved you from the beginning, and you totally surprised me when you said you were part of EXP. I was like, what? I loved you already. And my perception completely changed after I joined the group, of course. But I wholeheartedly love everyone here, but I was very averse to EXP initially, to be honest.
Me too. Absolutely. I was called by Glenn Sanford. No, sorry. Glenn's the owner. Gene Frederick, who I know, who's like number 3 in the company. So I was called by him. A brilliant man, by the way, because he knew me. I was a team leader in the 2 regions that he owned, Virginia and Northern California, Hawaii. And he trained me. He's the guy who trained me how to recruit originally. It was Gene Frederick, way back when. And so he called me up when the company was brand new, like, Gina, you got to do this. And I was like, no. And he must have called me 2 or 3 times. And I was like, nope. And then like you said, the relentless barrage of I knew that they didn't know me. They didn't care about me. They didn't care what I wanted. All they wanted was somebody in their downline. Like that was it. And it was like the days of Amway, when Amway was a big thing. And I was just so turned off from it on every level. Like, no, you're gross. And then when Gary was looking into the different business models to do what it was that he wanted to do, which is go nationwide, not have duplication of like duplication of staff in every office and brokerage and state recs and all that kind of stuff. The only place that it worked with was EXP. And then when he put it together, he went to EXP and he's like, I want to do something different than the norm of what you guys do. And Gary had to really, really, really work and fight and push to get his business model through. And they finally said, you can test it and we'll see if this works or not. And that's pretty much how he got it through. And what he wanted to do was mimic EXP's business model. And he said, I want to bring people in. I want to be able to give them money if they bring other people in. So I want to mimic that. He goes, but I want to grow a forever team. I don't want to grow a team with a revolving door. I could care less about that. In order to do that, I need to change the split, because a regular EXP agent comes in on a 50-50 team split. And then additionally, the 80-20 EXP split. And you will stay at that 50-50 team split. And there's no way that if someone's getting, I don't know what the math works out to be, but maybe let's say 38% or somewhere around in there, 36, I think it is. But anyway, there's no way someone's going to stay forever, nor does it set them up for financial success in order to do that. And Gary's like, I don't want to do that. I have no interest in doing that. So our business model, where you drop down to that 95.5 level and you stay there for forever, once your initial cap is paid, once your initial 20K is paid and you stay there for forever, that was what he pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed to get through. And he finally did. And then we get to build what we build. And now they're looking at us because we're the biggest as far as actual production team, not downline. We're not at all the biggest there, but it's actual production team. We're the biggest as far as how many states we cover. So because we're in 26 states and we did that really quickly, now they're really watching us to watch how we grow and build, because it's a different business model and they really like it. So that's why Gary's been doing more teaching and more stuff like that. So there you go. There's probably way more than PF than you ever wanted that little can of worms you opened up.
I love it. I was like, I have no good news. And this is like a big chest of good news. It's really good stuff. It really, really was really interesting. There's a lot to time-wise. There's a lot to Gary that he doesn't tell or anything. If you ask, he will. He always will if you ask, but he doesn't just flat out tell you. Like, for instance, I found out one day, and I've known Gary since either December of 2011 or January of 2012, but right around in there. And so 10 years. And he told me that, I don't know, 6 months ago, maybe a year ago, he said, the reason why I worked with you is because I went around to every other broker and they told me, no, I couldn't do what I wanted to do. And you told me, yes, let's build. And he goes, I was so impressed with the fact that you were like, because I asked some questions. I'm like, I'm not understanding why everyone's saying no, but he goes, everywhere was a closed mindset and you were a very open mindset. And that's why after that first meeting, Gary's like, I want to partner with you. And I was like, I can't, I don't have the bandwidth right now to be able to partner with you. I just like you and, you're welcome here. But I didn't find that out until a decade later, and so there's just a lot in there. Also, when I first met Gary, he did not tell me that he had just broken his back twice, and that he mentioned it last night. His leg had atrophied completely. It took away his driver's license and he was not allowed to drive because he was told he'd never walk. And he had just come out of that when I met him, and he never said a word, not one word. And I didn't know, nobody knew. He just came in. He's like, I want to build. This is what I want to build. I want to build this nationwide thing where I teach real estate agents how to invest for their own personal wealth and growth, so they can teach other people and they can work with investors. I want to bridge that gap. There's a gap right there. I want to teach this. I was like, that's awesome. And he's like, everybody else told me no. Why? And I dug in, you're not licensing, you're not doing this, you're not doing that, right? And he goes, no, I'm not doing any of that. But he promised me then, he said, I will learn the law in all 50 states though.
I'm like, you're on, dude. Go for it. And that was the beginning of our relationship, you know, all those years ago. So anyway, there you go. There's a lot underneath there that he's an open book. He just doesn't vomit it, you know, I guess is a way to say it.
You have to turn the page.
Good. Good words.
Very good.
Uh-huh. All right, Anna, darling, we have not hit on your good news yet. What's your good news?
I am working with, one of the things that I would love to get your take on is one of the cases, one of the transactions I had. It's a new build.
Good news first, and then we'll dive straight into that.
Okay. All right, love. Sounds good. So yeah, I'm working with two commercial tenants, two prospects to secure spaces for them. One would be a much longer lease. Other one's just about like 2 to 3 years, but we could potentially extend it out. I'm working on rehabbing some properties at this point with the owners, so that we could get them listed. But I think the projected repair timeline is probably going to be around mid-December. So it seems like the only closings potentially for December would be the commercial ones, and then just working down the pipeline. But yeah, so that's that.
Okay, cool beans. Now, what do you want your take on? Woohoo, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I was in contract for a new construction for one of my clients who signed with a builder. The builder now said that they need to have my former broker release or officially do a transfer of the transaction or release of the transaction to EXP.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone encountered issues with them saying no and giving issues? Because I wrote to them a while back and I haven't heard back. So I want to know how much pushback I need to have.
All right. Anyone come over and had pushback from getting your stuff released? Nope. I had pushback. When I did it up in Washington State, I had 5 transactions that the new builder, new construction would not release to me when I went and switched over to KW. And so I was actually on the buyer side because it was a builder. So I had I mean, he was the listing agent, but they didn't have buyer's agents. So I was sort of on the buyer side, even though I represented him. Anyway, and they gave me lots of pushback. And then when I went and talked to my clients were like, hell, and I didn't know I was a brand new agent, but they were like, hell no, we don't work with him. We work with you. You are our agent. And they didn't like the guy they put in place there. I don't like him either, but whatever. But they didn't like him at all. And so I went back to the broker and I'm like, look, they're throwing a fit. And because of that, I did get it. And what I had to do for them was they said, we need you to keep us updated every single week, which was so stupid. This is a little different situation because you work for the builder. Definitely push back. I would send it one more time over into the broker. Let me find out if because Bree's hopping on now. She's had experience with it also. I would have them, I would take one more time to the broker, put it out there, and then if it didn't, I would probably go into my broker and see if with broker to broker we couldn't get it. Hey Bree, when you've left a company, have you had to, first off, how are you feeling, honey? She's connecting in. You're connected. Can you hear us? There you go. Okay. All right. Yes, you. How are you feeling?
I feel so better.
Oh, okay. I guess that's better because, all right. Okay.
Mild.
I know. Can you talk for a second? I want to see if we can hear you.
Okay.
Okay, you're cool. Well, have you left a broker and had to have your business transactions that were in process there released over to EXP?
They wouldn't release it. I had to close it with the other broker.
Bingo. So that can happen also.
So I know Bonetta had hers transferred over.
Bonetta had hers transferred? Okay,
She
Bonetta
three.
Virginia.
She had 3 in the middle. while she was so she had them transfer further, but mine were further along.
Okay.
Mine were like a week from, like a couple weeks from.
Oh wow.
right.
So did you have to stay, Bree, with the previous broker until you closed out the transactions and then have your license?
Oh no. I went ahead and transferred over to EXP.
Uh-huh.
And the commission just came from that broker, the previous broker.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So just have that conversation with them.
Yep. So mine would not get released. My stuff closed from that broker and then got paid through them, I believe as well. Although to be really honest, it was 2008 and I've slept since then. So I don't have the clearest memory of it. I just know that I did get paid, but it was a struggle to get paid from them. But the broker for that builder was shady, and the broker doesn't work for that builder anymore. You have to get paid legally across the entire nation. So across the entire nation, they have to pay you. However, can they pull stunts? Yes. So I would talk to the broker one more time. If you have your contract that you originally signed, there might be some verbiage in there. And if broker pulled any stunts at all and was still legal, like, and verified that through your state broker through EXP, the thing that I always tell people to go back to them with is, look, I would really hope that we could do this in a manner that is professional so that we leave the door open in case I ever do want to return. And I've had that work most of the time. It did not work one time for one agent. They were really vindictive. I mean, they were just nasty. But usually that bit kind of wakes them up and makes them think. And then the other thing is the big guns are bringing our broker into their broker, and your state broker definitely will fight for you. Because I've had a lot of conversations with him in the process of bringing you over because of what was getting, through KV Core and everything else.
Gotcha. Okay, love. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. You have a great state broker. I mean, out of all the brokers I've been in, all 26 states, and there's multiple in some states, there's only one that I'm like, and it's not your state. And it's not, I'm looking around, it's not any of your states.
Yay. We just got a new broker, so.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Who is it?
Christine Maka, maybe?
Okay, that sounds familiar. Yeah, I don't know who it is.
I don't know her well.
Okay. All right. Anybody else have any other challenges or anything that we got?
I do.
What do you got?
So, got a home under contract. I had a conversation, $2,000 earnest money. She said she was going to pull it from her retirement. I said, okay, let me know because it takes time. We have 5 days. So anyway, long story short, she can't pull it. She's like, I guess we can't buy the house. I was like, do you not want?
Go on.
So I was like, I found you $20,000 in closing costs. We came 10,000 under. What the hell?
Mm-hmm.
And so she's like, well, my mom said I could borrow it. I was like, I need you to commit and tell me what you can have by Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm leaving it with you. So she came back. She's like, I found $1,000.
Okay.
So now I need to go to the listing agent, I guess, and negotiate if we can do 1,000 instead of 2,000 for the earnest money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Just go back. And I would also let my buyer know if you're like, there's different things that you can do, but if it sounds like you're like, I'm done with you, get your crap together. And if you're there, I might go, one technique you could use if you wanted to, and there's a bunch of different ways that you could approach this, but because I'm trying to figure out how to I'm not like, go do this, but one technique to approach it would be, you're technically in violation of contract. And in violation of contract means the whole thing could go to hell. And earnest money is a big deal, a very big deal. So right now you're in non-performance or violation, or you have a voidable contract. which technically that's, I mean, at the very least, you have that. You have a voidable contract, not void, but voidable. So they can walk anytime they want to, and you can lose everything. And again, that's just one way. There's, I don't know your client, and I don't know how you want to handle it. And there's a bunch of different ways you could handle this.
She's the one that used her down payment money on a wedding to a guy that doesn't care.
Oh, that one. Oh yeah, I would have the serious come to Jesus talk with that girl. Really, 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 because it's a pattern. It's
right.
Yeah. So when I would speak truth and honesty, and I would do that. Truth and honesty and love, and I wouldn't sugarcoat.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, at all. At all. Because there's a pattern. It's not a mistake, it's a pattern. That's a whole different level of behavior.
Yeah.
Cool. Does anybody else have any insight into that?
I tell you, I'd be paranoid to have her buy a house for me. I would think she'd get foreclosed almost immediately because she'd give away her payment money. I mean, and not that that's a concern for anybody here because we're not supposed to, but
it could be if you wanted it to be and you built your business. It's yours.
If you were holding, if you were selling a house, a lease to rent or something, a lease to own or something, then it definitely would be. I would just think they would be a very risky person, you know, and that's sad.
It is sad.
I wonder if that person she gave her money away to for the wedding, she can get some of that back and come up with the $2 grand.
It's her wedding.
Oh,
It was her.
Bingo.
I
That's
see.
Yeah, there's a pattern there. There really, really is. So, all right. Have fun with that one, Bree. Keep us posted, okay?
Okay.
And then I have one little piece of news that I forgot to share. Our class got accepted yesterday for Success Magazine. So they're like, absolutely build it out. Here's the criteria that you need to do. And then we'll launch like in January some point. So we got to get that back end built. So I'm very excited about that. Very excited. Yep. All right, y'all. I will see you in, I don't know how many hours that is, like 6, I think. That sounds right. I'll see you all in 6 hours. Love your shiny. Super. Wow. Oh, hey, baby. Super looking forward to seeing you guys in a few hours. Have a great rest of your day.
What a cool dog.
Yes.
Thank you. His name is Happy.
Super cool.
Yes. And it's got a nice low protect me bark. Love it. Bye, y'all.
Have a good one soon.